Sairam students, today we'll be doing history. Now today we'll be learning the remaining sources of history. In the first part of the lesson we have learnt about the material sources, right? Now today we'll be learning about the remaining two sources, that is the written source and the oral source. Now we get knowledge about the various significant events of the past by means of various sources, as we have learnt earlier. So the written sources are one amongst them. Yes, so we'll begin with the written sources. Now what comes under written sources? It gives us a written account of those particular events or happenings. So in written sources you have the travelogues, then you have the document dispatches, also you have the treaties, biographies and many more. So this written sources gives you information in a written format about various events, right? Now also you'll find that this written material is available in various scripts, also in various languages, right? Now which are the scripts, writing styles of scripts are available? So you'll find the Devanagari script, then we have the Arabic, Persian and Modi script, which will provide you with the written material of the historical events. Apart from this, there are also other varieties of different languages, okay, in which this information will be available in a written form. Then you'll see that there is other source like Bhurja Patras. Now what are Bhurja Patras? They are the letter sheets which the kings or the Maharajas used for writing letters or messages during those time. Then you have the manuscripts. Now what are manuscripts? Manuscripts are the handwritten material. Okay, so that was available in a written form. So religious manuscripts is one among them. You have the treaties, decrees, edicts. Now decrees and edicts are the official orders which the kings used to issue. Okay, so that is again one of the evidence. And the biographies and the paintings. The paintings depict the events of the past during that time, and also tells about, there are various ways the cultural life, the social life is depicted by means of paintings. And biographies tells you about the various rulers, the way of ruling administration, the way they treated the people, the reforms that were passed, and also about their concern towards the subjects. Yes, so what information do we get from all this? So this written source, they provide us with the information of food items during that time, the attire of the people. Attire means the clothes the people used to wear, the conventions and the rules of conduct of the people, the assemblies. Conventions means the assemblies which were conducted by the kings, and also the rules and regulations that were passed for the people, the ways the festivals were celebrated, and also about the life of the people. So it mentions about all these events. It gives us the information of all these things. Now we see many travelers coming to India. Now those travelers who come to India, what do? They maintain a written account of, a travel account of all the places they have visited. And what is it called as? It's called as a travelogue. So what are travelogue? They have written accounts called as travelogues, or the accounts of their own travel, right? Then next you have the I'll just mention you some of the travelogues here. The Al-Birani, Ibn Battuta, Nicolao Manushi. So these are some of the travelogues. Then also the biographies, as I told you earlier also, they depict or they talk about the administration of the king. So the Babar's biography, Babar is one of the ruler. Then you have the Sri Shiva Bharata. It is a Sanskrit biography of Shivaji Maharaj, composed by the poet Paramananda. Yes, so in this way biographies provide us information about the kings. How does this biography help us? In what ways? So you'll find biographies of different rulers. It helps us to understand the policies and administrative systems of the rulers. So whichever policies or any reforms they have made in the state, in the region, so biographies depict all that, and also it tells you about the administrative, the ruling, the way of ruling, the administrative system of that particular ruler, and also their diplomatic relations with the others, or with the subjects, with the people or other kings. So it talks about, it gives us information about all these things of a king. There is one more term, that is Tabarrok or Tariq. The term Tariq itself is telling you that it is talking about dates. So what is Tabarrok? It means the sequence of the events. It tells you about the sequence in which the events have been taken place, right? So some of the Tabarriks I'll mention, that is Al-Biruni, Ziauddin Barani, Maulana Ahmad, Mirza Haidar, etc. Yes. Then next you have another term in history, that is Bakhar. Now what is a Bakhar? A Bakhar is a chronicle, and it is a type of a chronicle that originated in Maharashtra. Now chronicle is what? It tells you about the events that happens in a chronological manner, in a serially. Okay, so chronicle, that is Bakhar, is a type of a chronicle which originated in Maharashtra. It tells you about the chronology of the various events that have taken place in the past. Now how does chronicle help us? Chronicle help us in understanding various aspects. Now what aspects? That is the political happenings, like about the wars, the battles that were formed, or any treaties were signed. So it talks about those things. Then it tells you about the linguistic transactions, the cultural life, the way of living, the traditions, the customs, and also the social conditions of the people during that time. So it talks about all these events. Okay, in this way the chronicle help us. Now many chronicles were written after the historical events had taken place. Okay, now which were those? Like you have, especially in Marathi, those chronicles were written, the Sabhasad Bakhar, Chitnisanchi Bakhar, and Bhau Saibanchi Bakhar. So these were the chronicles written in Marathi after the historical events had taken place. So far we have learnt about the historical written sources in history, how they are helpful for us. Now let's shift to the next source, that is the oral source. Now how does oral source provides us with the information? What comes under oral source? So in oral source you have the folk songs. Now what are folk songs? It talks about the culture, tradition of that particular state, region, country, etc. Then you have gathas, gathas related to the saints, and you have abhangas. Then you have legends or myths, the stories of legendaries, and you have ovis and povadas. Okay, all these comes in oral source. Now you'll find various aspects of folk life through folk literature. It is passed from generation to generation. So we see various folk songs, folk dances, which is passed from generation to generation, and various aspects of the culture, the tradition is passed from one generation to another generation. For example, we have ovis, folk songs, tales, legends, then myths, povadas, etc. Now ovis are sung either in praise of God, they are sung in praise of a particular king, or as just an entertainment for the women's during doing the household work, and also they used to chant the name of God with the help of that. Yes, and then povadas. We'll first listen to ovis. I'll just show you an example of what is an ovi. पहिली माझी ओवी ग दत्त गुरुच्या पायाशी, सार्थक करीन जन्माचे ग दिगंबराच्या चरणाशी. दुसरी माझी ओवी ग गुरु पादुका वंदीन, चराचरी जो व्यापून उरला अनुसूया सुत प्रार्थीन. दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा, दिगंबरा दिगंबरा श्रीपाद वल्लभ दिगंबरा. So these were the ovis, as I told you that it was sung in praise of gods. Then we have povadas. Now what were povadas? Povadas, they talk about the historical events, about the kings. Now when during Shiva Jayanti you must be hearing this povadas. One of the povada is very much famous about the meet of Shivaji and Afzal Khan. Okay, so I'll just give you one more example of another, that is what is a povada. स्वराज्याचं बांध तोरण संधी साधून, कोंढाणा किल्ला घ्यावा ताब्यात, अष्टमी मूर्त ठेवा त्याला, जिजाबाई वदल्या राजगडात हो जी 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 जी. कोंढाण्यासारखा बळकट किल्ला मुघलांच्या हाती असणं बरं नाही, ती आपली अस्मिता आहे. शेलार मामा होते संगतीला, एवढ्यात तानाजी मालुसरेकडून रायबाच्या लग्नाचं निमंत्रण घेऊन एक दूत महाराजांकडे आला आणि तेव्हा परतीचा निरोप पाठविला तानाजीला, तुम्ही लागा लगीन कार्याला, आम्ही जातो बघा लढाईला. हो राजे हो जिर रे जी. तानाजी मालुसरेंना हे कळताच ते काय म्हणतात, आम्ही लग्नात मिरवायचं आणि आमच्या राजाने लढायला जायचं, हे कदापि शक्य नाही. तानाजीने मनी केला पण आणि दिले बघा वचन, आधी करू लग्न कोंढाण्याचे, नंतरच लग्न रायबाचे, घ्यावे ऐकून एवढे आमचे हो जी जी जी. हो राजे हो जिर रे जी जी. So this is how a povada is. Now history helps us in various forms. So history is written with the help of these various sources, the material, the oral source and the written source. So even though history is already written, but the research is still continuous. It goes on. And what is next when the research is continuous? What happens is of the same event you get more information, and information regarding that particular event comes to light, and then again you will find because of which history has to be rewritten accordingly. So on the basis of the current sources that were available, current information that is available. Now we have learnt about the sources. Now how do we evaluate the sources, whether they are really genuine, correct or authentic? So we need to take necessary precautions related to these sources. What is that? First thing is that you need to examine the authenticity of that particular source, whether it is really correct, whether it is true or false or not fake, or whether it is genuine. So we should be very cautious related to the authenticity of that particular source. Then quality can be determined with the help of internal standards. So you will find whatever source is collected, information is collected, you can determine the quality, whether it is really true or genuine by the standard it has mentioned. Then study the integrity of the writers. We need to study the integrity of the writer who has written the information, means how honest he is, how loyal he is, and also what is his personal interest in writing or collecting that information. And also we need to know about the period which they live and whether they are any under political pressure, whether the information is written under any political pressure. And also we have to see that these sources or that information does not rely on any hearsay, or but it should give an eyewitness, or whether it is giving you a clear evidence or proof of that particular event. And also we need to consider the exaggerations, whether the right whatever information is got, it is not showing any negative information about that particular event or history, or it is not more exaggerated, also not extraordinary any information is provided. Then information has to be verified. We need to verify, we need to check the information collected with the help of various other sources that are available. And information whatever collected may be one sided, it should also have some proof related to that, and it is not contradictory, there is no opposition related to whatever information is collected. Then it also has to be seen that it is in a proper perspective, proper knowledge it is providing, and also the sources have to be subjected to critical analysis. So whatever sources are collected, that should be critically analyzed, deeply checked, and then whether seen it is genuine or correct. And there is no sources also tells you, after collecting the information, it also tells you about the, we need to know about the author's impartiality and neutrality is also very important. If it has having any opposition, any contradictory statements related to that information, then the author's impartiality and neutrality related to that is also very important. So children, so far now we have learnt about the various sources, that is the written and the material oral sources in history. Now today we have done the written and the oral sources. So let's just do a small activity. Fill in the blanks. Dash is a type of chronicle that originated in Maharashtra. So which is that chronicle? Yes, it is a Bakhar which originated in Maharashtra. Next, the travelers have written dash of their travelers. So what have they written? They have written the travelogues. Okay, it is a travel account. And then third is the sources have to be subjected to dash. They have to be subjected to critical analysis. So students, today we have completed the first chapter in history, that is the sources of history. Yes, thank you.